Hello dear students, today we are going to continue our talk about the animal world, and today we are going to speak about interesting insects as bees. Open your books at page 31, exercise 1. Read the title of the text. What is the social organization within a beehive? Listen to the opinion.
I think the social organization within a beehive has a queen at the top, and then the worker bees below her, and the drones below them.
Now let's get acquainted with new words, listen to them, repeat and write down them in your vocabularies. Don't forget to learn them by heart.
Fertilize,
hive, larva, lifespan, pollen, pupa.
royal jelly,
Now let's read the text and watch the video.
Bees and their world. There are over 20,000 species of bees on planet Earth. Although only 7 of these are honeybees, they are probably the most well-known species because they provide us with the sweet, sticky treat they are named after. Honeybees exist on every continent except Antarctica, and they are one of the most studied creatures on Earth. Life cycle. The life cycle of a honeybee has 4 main stages. A bee starts its life as an egg, just 1.6 millimeters in length, laid by the queen bee in a hexagonal cell of wax. 3 days later, a larva hatches from the egg. It is fed 1,300 times a day on bee bread, a special food made from pollen and honey. The exceptions are the potential queen bees, who eat royal jelly, a substance produced by worker bees. After 6 days of feeding the larva, worker bees seal itself from the outside and the larva develops into a pupa. 3 weeks after the queen first laid the egg, the fully grown bee chews its way out of the cell and immediately starts work. How long it will live depends on the type of bee it is. In one hive, there can be up to 80,000 bees and they are divided into 3 types. Each hive has just one queen bee. Her sole job is laying eggs. They can lay 1,500 eggs a day. The queen fertilizes some of the eggs, and these will become female worker bees. The eggs she doesn't fertilize will become male bees, called drones. There are about 300 drones in a large hive, and they have an easy life because the worker bees find food for them, and their only job is to mate with the queen. Although worker bees are all female, they can't reproduce. Their tasks include caring for the queen bee, feeding the larvae, and of course, collecting nectar from flowers in order to make honey.
In exercise 2, you are to read again and complete the sentences. Let's check. The queen bee lays each of her eggs in a hexagonal cell of wax. In the text, it is said that a bee starts its life as an egg just 1.6 millimeters in length, laid by the queen bee in a hexagonal cell of wax. The second sentence. A larva that might grow into a queen eats only royal jelly. Let's check in the text. The exceptions are the potential queen bees who eat royal jelly, a substance produced by worker bees. Fertilized bee eggs will grow into worker bees. According to the text, the queen fertilizes some of the eggs and these will become female worker bees. Sentence 4. Drones are made to leave the hive in winter. In the text it is said that because they don't collect or produce food, if there are any drones left in the hive as winter closes in, the worker bees for them to leave to conserve food supplies. The next. Honey is made from nectar from flowers. In the text it is said that collecting nectar from flowers in order to make honey. And the last. The lifespan of a worker bee depends on the season. In the text it is said that in spring and summer, when worker bees are busiest, they live for 6-7 weeks. But in the autumn and winter, when they have less to do, they can live for up to 6 months. In exercise 3, you are to look at the picture and use the information in the text to describe the life cycle of a honeybee. Let's check.
A bee egg is laid by the queen bee in a hexagonal wax cell. After 3 days, it hatches into a larva. It eats bee bread 1,300 times a day unless it's a queen bee, which eats royal jelly. After 6 days, the cell is sealed and the larva develops into a pupa. Then on day 21, it chews its way out of the cell as a fully grown bee and starts work. If it is a worker bee, it lives for 6 to 7 weeks in the summer or for up to 6 months in the autumn and winter. If it is a queen bee, it will live for 2 to 5 years.
In exercise 4, you are to use the numbers in the list below to ask and answer questions about honeybees. Let's listen and check.
How many species of bees are there on planet Earth?
Over 20,000. How many bees can there be in one hive?
Up to 80,000. How big is the queen bee?
Around 2 centimeters long. How long does she usually live?
At least 2 years. How many eggs does she lay a day?
1,500. How many drones are there in a large hive?
About 300. How many flowers must a honeybee visit to make 500 grams of honey?
About 2 million. How far does a honeybee travel to visit all these flowers?
88,000 kilometers. How many times must they beat their wings a second to carry their own weight in pollen or nectar?
230 times. How long do worker bees live for in spring and summer?
6 to 7 weeks.
And your task is exercise 5. You are to collect more information about bees, prepare and give a presentation. Listen to the model.
Good morning. Today I am going to tell you some interesting facts about bees. Honeybees have 2 sets of wings, 6 legs and 2 stomachs. Different types of bees take different lengths of time to develop. It takes 21 days from when the queen lays an egg for a worker bee to emerge from the cell, 24 days from when the queen lays an egg for a drone to emerge from the cell, and 16 days from when the queen lays an egg for another queen to emerge from the cell. You know that bees travel far and wide to collect nectar and pollen to make honey. But did you know that bees travel up to 8 kilometers from the hive to find flowers, at speeds up to 24 kilometers an hour? When a bee finds a place with many flowers, it goes back to the hive and does a special dance. The dance tells the other bees exactly where to go. On each trip from the hive, a bee visits 50 to 100 flowers. All that hard work for a bee to make about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its life. Finally, did you know that honey is the only food insects make that we can eat, and it never goes bad? Are there any questions? Thank you for listening.